Influence of servicescape on customers' food expectation and revisit intention to local coffee shops in Lemery, Batangas. And this is the chosen title of this study. For our introduction, let's talk about first our main variable, which is servicescape. Servicescape was developed in the early 80s and it's defined as the environment which the seller and customer interact, combined with tangible commodities that facilitate performance or communication of the service. The coffee shop must know the extent of product, price, place, promotion, people, process, and physical evidence strategy. They also must know the service marketing mix has been done appropriately. The extent of this service marketing mix affects customer satisfaction, and the degree of customer satisfaction and their commitment change revisit intention. The background of the study. According to Aisha Muhammad, 2019, the aesthetic of the facility, lighting, ambience, layout, service product, and social factors are all part of physical environment. And according to Dr. Nguyen 2020, the objective of this study is to evaluate the role of servicescape in service quality and behavioral intention in the context of coffee shop services.
Statement of the problem of our study. SOP1. What is the demographic profile of respondent in terms of age, gender, education level, occupation, and monthly income? SOP2. What is the level of influence that measure the local coffee shop's servicescape in terms of ambient condition, space function, sign, symbol and artifact, food presentation, and humanity facilities? SOP3. Is there a significant difference between the respondent's assessment on the above-mentioned variable when grouped according to profile variables? SOP4. Based on the findings, what recommendation may be proposed to boost the influence of local coffee shops' servicescape on the customer food expectation and revisit intention in Lemery, Batangas?
So for our theoretical framework, we found out many theories and models that is related to our study, but we came up with the best theory. We know that we can answer the questions for our study. So this theory is from Boom and Rittner, that this theory named servicescape model. This model has 5 variables, which is ambient condition, space and function, sign, symbol, and artifact, food presentation, and humanity facilities. So we know that this model and sub-variables help us to assess the local coffee shop servicescape. The conceptual framework of our study, we use IPO model, or input, process, output model. The input cover SOP1 and 2, which is the SOP1 is the demographic profile of the respondents in terms of age, gender, educational level, occupation, and annual income. And the SOP number 2 is the level of influence that assess the local coffee shop servicescapes. So for the process, we use the method that we always use in our study, which is the descriptive method and the analysis of data through survey questionnaire. So the last part is the output, which is the shows the recommendations will propose to improve the influence of servicescapes on customers' food expectation and revisit intention to local coffee shops in Lemery, Batangas.
Significance of the study. These are the people or group of people that will benefit to our study, such as to coffee shop business owner, to the customer, to the Lemery College Research Library, to the researchers.
Scope and limitation, or the coverage and limits of this study. So this study covers the semesters of school year 2021 to 2022. The respondents of the study, or the chosen respondents of our study, was the customers of local coffee shops in Lemery, Batangas. We choose these respondents because we know that they can help us to answer some questions of our study. So it will cover the profile of the respondents in terms of age, gender, education level, occupation, and monthly income. These 5 determine the local coffee shop servicescape. This study focuses on the influence of local coffee shop servicescape on the customer's food expectation and revisit intentions in Lemery, Batangas in terms of ambient condition, space function, sign, symbol, and artifact, food presentation, and human facilities. The researcher choose not to include electronic equipment as part of their variables because it is already included in the space function. To coffee shop 1, 2, and 3 allow the researchers to conduct survey on their coffee shops. The researchers decided to take a picture with the owner and employee of the coffee shop to serve some evidence and proof of our consent of this study.
Synthesis. The purpose of this study is to identify the effects of servicescape on the food expectation and the actual performance, satisfaction, revisit intention, and the moderating effect of gender. The synthesis or the summarization of review of related literature from the chapter 2. So you can get some information or data within dictionary, magazine, journals, articles, books, and some claims from the research study that related to the study. According to synthesis or summarization, we came up to some claims that can help to answer the question from our study, and it can also help on how we will go from our study. Stated by Nguyen 2014 and Bittner 1992, ambient conditions involve sensory elements such as temperature, color, light, noise, music, scent, and so on, which affect customers' perceptions of the service environment. According to Tormanag 2013, ambient conditions are background environmental stimuli which influence patrons' perceptions, sense, or affective responses. According to Elsevier 2015, Malaysia Meetings Incentive Convention and Exhibitions, MICE industry are growing rapidly and poised to become a high-potential industry to attract local and international exhibitors. According to Tumanan and Lansangan 2012, overall, this study suggests that consumers drink coffee in coffee houses not only for the beverage in itself, but for the additional lifestyle experience and atmospheres the consumption offers. Research Locale, Lemery, Batangas. The locale of this research will be conducted on the selected nearby coffee shops in Lemery, Batangas. All of the coffee shops of this study are classified as small-scale coffee shops in municipality of Lemery. Research locale or the places or the settings of the study. Coffee shop is located on one of the famous mall in Lemery, Batangas. Coffee shop 2 is located near the gasoline station in Lemery, Batangas, and the coffee shop 3 is located in one barangay in Lemery, Batangas.
Research design of our study. The research design used in this study is the descriptive research method to determine the level of assessment of local coffee shops in Lemery, Batangas. Survey questionnaires will be used as main data gathering instrument in collecting data from the respondents. Respondents of the study. The ethical consideration when giving out the letter of consent to conduct survey. Customer from coffee shop 1, 2, and 3 have total weekly number of customers of 540. This will be their basis to get the sample size of respondents. The researchers will get 110 respondents out of the total populations. Convenience sampling will be used in this study.
Sampling design. The researchers used the convenience sampling on how they were going to randomly select customers who were buying coffees that whole week. According to Thomas and Cyber 2017, convenience sampling involves using respondents who are convenient to the researchers. There is no pattern whatsoever in acquiring these respondents. They may be recruited merely asking people who are present in the street, in a public building, or in a workplace.
The data gathering on this study, the first part is the construction of the questionnaire. The study used to research constructed questionnaire as the main instrument in gathering information to generate and obtain data which are necessary in the assessment of influence of servicescapes on a customer food expectation and revisit intention to the local coffee shops in Lemery, Batangas. File in the first part, which is the demographic profile of the respondents. Second part is the sub-variables of the study. Each of the variable has a 7 set of questions. The second part is scoring responses. The researchers use a 4-point Likert scale to get the scores and percentage of the respondents' answer, which with one of the lowest and 4 is the highest.